Hello, my name's George Cairns, and in this video lesson I'm going to show you how to process raw files and stitch them together to create a perfect panorama that includes more colour and more tonal detail, and it's also got less distortion as well, as you would get using some panoramic techniques. So what we want to do is create a panorama without having to crop out any of the edge of the image, which is quite a common thing that you have to do. So I'll show you some tips, tricks and techniques to help you create a more colourful and less cropped panoramic image using raw source files. So let's kick off from scratch in Photoshop CC and go to File and choose Browse in Bridge. That opens up Adobe Bridge CC, and you can then browse to the folder containing your panoramic source images. And here we have our lighthouse, and what we're going to do is pan to the left, and you can see that I'm overlapping different parts of the image to make sure that Photoshop's got something to analyze and compare in each shot, so it can then merge and align the images more effectively. Now, when taking these photographs, I set the camera to manual so that I could then get the same exposure for each shot, and that means they're more likely to align without any seams between each image. So when I click here, you'll notice the metadata is going to be the same in each photograph so that nothing in the exposure is changing. And I also locked the focus off as well so that it wasn't going to change focus and hunt on foreground and background details, and that would cause seams to appear as well. So we've got some suitable source files ready to be stitched together. What I'm going to do now is press Command A or Control A to select them all, and then we can go up to File and choose Open in Camera Raw, because these are raw files, and that means we can edit their colors and tones and get more detail than we could get using JPEGs. So let's click here to open them up in Camera Raw. Now, it's really important that you click here to select all of the images in this panel, because when we make changes to one shot, we want to make identical changes to the other images so they all stitch together seamlessly in a panorama. So they're all selected in this panel here. I'm now going to go over to this section here, the lens corrections panel, and watch what happens to this curved edge here when I tick this. It's slightly straightened out and there's a slight barreling in the image that we're counteracting. Let me just toggle between the before and the after, and that lens correction will just help the images stitch together more effectively. We can go back to the basic panel and then make some adjustments to color and tone. So I'm going to brighten up this underexposed area here by increasing the value of the shadow slider. I'm also going to increase mid-tone contrast by just boosting clarity to about 37. That brings out delicate cloud detail and texture on the lighthouse. And I can also boost the colors as well by dragging vibrance to the right. And these changes here are being applied to all of the photos consistently. So all I need to do now is click Open Images to take them into Photoshop itself. And it's opening them up in separate files to start with all the color adjustments that we've added. So we can see more pink in the clouds there, thanks to the vibrant slider. Next step is to go to File, pop down to Automate, and we're going to go to Photo Merge. And that pops this window here, and we can use the Open Files by clicking this button like so. So we've got lots of different ways to blend our images together, and Auto will automatically distort the images and reposition them to try and get them to align perfectly. But that can create very distorted looking images, and you lose some of the edge of your frame because you have to crop out transparent edges that this creates. So all I want to do is go down to Reposition, and that will avoid distorting any of the images. In fact, these options here are grayed out, but we don't need to worry about that because we've already removed the geometric distortion in Camera Raw. So all we're doing is repositioning the images to get them to align, and we should get more of the image edge using this option. So all I'm going to do now is click OK, and it's going to copy all the images into a single file, and then it's going to align them and blend them using masks to create a seamless panorama. Now you notice by repositioning some of the layers, it's created a little bit of a transparent edge at the top here and at the bottom. And in Photo Merge, you did have the option to tick a box that would seamlessly replace these transparent edges with content-aware material. But I want to show you how to do that now by going to Layers and showing you exactly what's involved. Let me just flatten these areas first of all by going to Merge Layers. They're now in one single layer with a bit of a transparent edge. I'm going to click here to select the magic wand, and then click to select my transparent area at the top, and then shift click to select the transparent area at the bottom. I'm then going to expand that selection by going to Select, Modify, Expand, so it just overlaps the edge of the image. 4 pixels should do. Click OK, and now we're going to use Edit, Fill, and we're going to choose Content Aware. So this is very similar to using the Content Aware fill option in Photo Merge. I just want to show you what it does manually by clicking OK. It's then going to analyze the image. It's going to pop sky into this section here and appropriate pixels into this area here. So all we need to do now is press Command or Control D to deselect the selection, and there we have our panorama without having to crop out any of the edges. And also we've got a less distorted looking image as well, thanks to the corrections we've made in Camera Raw.